So today, all I did was patch up a foundation. It was blistering. It looked like it was going to be bad, but it wasn't. It was just a surface blister. I got them off. I dug some holes out that were bad. I used a fast drying cement, and when I use fast drying cements, you don't have to use a bonding agent because it dries so fast. You got to make sure it's wet. And then I came in, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, put a final coat on it. I waited a few weeks, and then I got a masonry paint, and then I painted it. So here we go. Now I got this foundation, and they asked me to come over to fix it. Look at this. You see this? I've got a suspicion of what's going on. It's not a big deal though. They think it's a big deal. Let's look behind here, see what this is. That's an old stone foundation. It's not a big deal. So we're just going to get the loose stuff off. Find out what we got to fix, what we don't have to fix. So, like I said, if it don't come off, leave it there. So I thought it was stone. It was like a old school concrete foundation. Looks like they plastered over it. And it's not bad. It's fixable. All the times I've been doing this since I started this channel, I didn't have any foundation that was really that bad that I had to make major repairs on it. We're just going to be like a dentist. Get the bad stuff off, and then fix it up. So, looks like right there, see a little space. They added this on sometime down the road. So we're just only going after the stuff that's bad. See? If it ain't bad, we're leaving it there. See, that's good. So if it's good, we're not going to touch it. So all we're doing, we're looking around for some bad spots. This is all hollow, hear it? It's not bad. Let's see here. It's about as far as we're going with it. Just the bad spots. That's a bad spot. That's it. The rest is okay. We're going to leave it. Let's go over here. So I know this is loose. See it? That's no good. It's real loose. We're going to take it off. It's no big deal. Just like a dentist. You go to the dentist, he does what he got to do, and he don't do no more. Look at the ants. See the ants in there? I cut in over here. That's not too good, is it? So I'm going to get it back where it's good. Right about there. Everything, see, just where it's bad. I'm not gonna go crazy here. Just like that. That's it. Well, let's look at what's going on. We got this all kind of, you know, got all the loose stuff off. I don't have a hose. I got a deep spot in here, and I got a pretty deep spot up in there. So I'm going to come back and fill them in this week, and we'll go from there. Well, I'm back the next day in this job, and I got a big hole here, and I got a big hole here. So I'm going to mix a fast drying cement. I got everything ready. When you do fast drying cement, get everything ready. I got a pretty big hole here. We're going to get the water, like I always told you. That's what's going to make it stick. This kind of stucco, that's what's going to make it stick. I'm going to wet it first to let it sink in there. Just like that. Got all this other stuff out. That's ready to go. So now I'm going to mix my cement. So for this, I'm just going to use the repair mortar. This is good stuff. Everything's contained in it. I'm going to mix this up first. Now we're just going to add the water and mix it up. No big deal. Only what we need that we're going to use within 10-15 minutes at the most. Only what we need. So that's it. This stuff here, everything's contained. So now I'm going to work with this. Right before I do it, I wet it again. I want to make sure it's wet. That's what's going to make it stick. I get this, I throw it in there. Like that. I want to plaster it up there. And then I'm going to get some old brick like this. Put it in. Maybe we'll put this one in. So we're going to do this. Put it in like that. See that? It sticks. Maybe we could get another one in here. Let's see. You could put this in there. Maybe we could take this brick, make it a little thinner. I'm not wetting the brick because I want it to suck the water out of there. See that? Plaster it up. Shove it in. Then plaster the side here. All we're doing is filling in right now. Not going to make a crazy big deal out of it. Just get the cement in there. See that? I know it's in there. I know it's in there. Now, I'm just going to get some pieces of stone. Where they fit, they fit. You see that? Stone is better than any type of, this fits up in there. It's a filler. Okay, now we got that. And very Very good. Now, you want to wet the face of these a little bit that I put in. That'll make that stick a little better. Well, when you're doing big jobs like this, it's not a big deal. Now I'm going to tuck it up under there. Just like that. Tuck it. Okay, got it in there pretty good. Now, make sure this is wet again. Then we're just going to plaster the whole thing. What we got left here? See that? Now I got an old like broom thing. I'm just gonna scratch it because we got to come back and do a little more. Same thing over here. Make sure it's wet. Do the exact same thing. Start getting the cement in. Whatever works, works. It's not a big deal. It's not rocket scientist. That'll work there. All right. Then I can get this on top. Put that in. That'll work there. Put this on top. That'll work there. Gotta make sure this is wet. Put it right in there. Maybe we'll put one. I don't know. Put it this way. No, too big. Alright, we'll put it this way. That'll work. I shouldn't have wet that. I did. See? Put it in like you're sticking stone on. That'll make it stick. That's all. No big deal. See what else we got. Here's another stone. Let me do this. See, just like you're sticking stone on. Don't matter what you do, as long as it works. It ain't working. So we'll put this one here instead. That'll work. And we'll build this out like that. That up in there. That'll work. caving in up there. That's no big deal. It ain't going nowhere. Maybe I'll put this in. Like that. See that? That's good. It's working. Okay, you can see what's going on. All we're doing is filling in the big stuff. We're going to come back over it later. Just filling in the big stuff. That's all we're doing. Now, we're using up what we made. Gotta wet it. Fill in these big holes here. That'll work. As long as it's good and wet. See that? I'm using the cement up. Kind of blend it in best we can. What I want to do is fill that hole in. That's all we're doing, is getting the big spots. What I tell you, wet it. Wet it and rub it down. That's your best thing you can chew. Make sure it's wet. You don't need any of those bonding agents for this kind of work. If you're doing the stuff that like Kurt does, working on houses, that's a different story. But these kind of things, no. So we want to just bring this out so that we can blend it all in. That's all we're doing. Building it out. So when we do our final coat, everything will kind of match. I'm not going to put a lot of time into this. It's an old miner's house. Can't make it perfect. We can make it better. Put it up underneath. Filling them holes in so it's relatively straight. That's all. The rest of the foundation ain't perfect. Look awful silly if one part is perfect and the rest ain't. Okay, we're gonna let that set up for a couple minutes. Come back and scratch it. Then we'll be ready for our final coat. Okay, it's waited about 5 minutes. See that? We're scratching it. So the next coat will stick to it. Not a big deal. Okay, we got the big spots filled in. Right, I missed a spot there. I'll get that. It's all kind of filled in. I got a little cement left. So I'm going to come back under here. Make sure I got under there so we don't get no critters in there. Okay, we're back again. Look at that. That's getting dry. This is only like, I don't think it's more than 30 minutes later. We got some holes up here. We don't want to get no critters up there. So I got a little extra. I like to make sure it's good on top. There'd be gophers, copperneck rattlesnakes, possums. But in the old days, Granny used to make old possum grits with dandelion wine and gopher meat. You guys don't know what you're missing. That's it. I think this is ready for the second coat. I'm gonna do this a little bit, get any high spots off. That's it. Now I'm back the next morning and I'm wetting it down good again. Like I said, you gotta have it wet before you plaster it. I'm gonna keep it wet again. Well, we just scrape it off, and then we're just gonna go over it again. And that's gonna fill in all those spaces. We're not gonna make a big deal out of it. I'm gonna come back and sponge it. You see? You could get yourself a plaster towel if you're crazy about it to get some parts level. See? But the whole idea is we just want to fill in those spots that we don't want showing. We're just making it better. And we gotta get up underneath there as best we can. That's always an issue. See? Get up under there. Okay. That's it. Now, okay, that's it. I'm gonna let this set up for a little bit, go to the other side. Same thing, we made sure we wet it first. We got a little bigger hole here. That's not a big deal. Get in there and patch that up. See that? No big deal. Don't mix more than what you're going to use in like 10 minutes or so. Just mix a little bit at a time. All we want to do is fill the holes in, that's all. Don't make a big deal out of it. It's all irregular anyway. Sponge. You go over with the sponge. It's going to take care of a lot of that. So we're not too worried about it. Part here over the old paint, you could go over that too. As long as it's wet, you can go over it. See that? It's going to hide some sins there. That's all we're doing. So you're going over the whole thing, using up what we got. So we're back a little longer later. It's a little wet in here. I started it already. Around the edges it's getting hard. So we get our sponge, we make sure we wring it out. Go over the edges first. All we're doing is blending it in. We're not making a big deal out of it. See, blending it in. On the sides a little bit. Right here it's a little wet, so we're going to go over that lightly. That's it. It's not too bad. You could come back a little bit. Go over it again if we want to. All we want to do is make it better. I'm not going to win no trophies here. I'm just going to make it better. Got a little ledge here. You just want to make it better. That's it. Get the sponge. Make it better. do the corner a little bit. See, we're just making it better. That's it. If you see any holes, make sure you fill them in. You ain't got no critters up in there. See that? Just making it better, that's all. Go lightly with your sponge. You don't even need a trowel to do this stuff. You can do everything with the sponge, even put it on. I'm going to do a video on that. See? We're just making it better. Okay, we got it sponged up good. Not too bad. Let's see what we're doing here. That's good. So we'll let that dry up for a while and paint it. Now if you ever get anything on blacktop, see I got a little spot right there. Get a steel brush. See that? Comes right up instead of trying to wet it and making a mess out of it. Steel brush. Well, I'm back again. You can see how it discolors a little bit as I'm getting ready to paint this. And it's got to bleed out. Cement's got to bleed out. That's why you wait up to 30 days to do it. So now I'm going to start painting it. This is what I'm using right here. Could use anything you want, but that's what I'm using. Exterior flat. So I'm going to talk about that job a little bit. Like I said, you're like a dentist. You go in there and you start chipping away at all the loose stuff. If it's hard, you leave it there. It's an old miner's house. They don't want to spend a lot of money, and I don't want to try to take a lot of money off them. Just do what has to be done. I could spend a lot of time there making it perfect, but it's not going to make that house any more valuable. I use that repair mortar. It's a little pasty, but it works well. It takes about twice as long to dry it in rapid set. So I appreciate you watching the video. I also sometimes in the description box have a site to buy tools, and I'm on Facebook and all that stuff again. So thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. Until next video.